sorry I'm a little bit late. We had a now when they sign, they have to send them to you, and before we can announce, we have to get all the signatures and the dates and such all ready. So we're still waiting on a thumbs up in the back, but I think we're headed in the right direction. So that's the good thing. It's been a fun 3 weeks. It's very different now with early signing day for new coaches that are coming in, because you're usually the situation's not great when you come, so you're behind in recruiting. So you have to get in immediately. You have to check the coaches that are here, the staff that's here, you interview them. Then you're actually trying to talk to players on your current team, because they're yours now. And a lot of them have questions about offense and defense and staff. And then you're out on the road trying to talk to the commitments that you've got that were all in place. And then you're trying to find new guys. And a lot of them are committed to somebody else, so you're trying to get your foot in the door. And then you're trying to have official visits, and you have to have guys come in for interviews while you're having official visits, because you're not here, because you're gone all the time. I think I was here about 3 times other than the official visit for 30 minutes. So when we put the early signing date in place, I was a part of the American Football Coaches Association board, and we really proposed it for 2 reasons. We thought that number 1, it would be for legacy kids that only wanted to take 1 visit and they wouldn't go anywhere else, and it would be for early enrollees so they'd have a signing day. And then when the NCAA proposed it, thumbs up, good, thank you. When the NCAA proposed it, they let everybody sign, so about 87% of kids signed last year early. So it was much different, I think, than the coaches thought it would be, and it makes it very difficult on new coaches coming in. So from our standpoint, the high school coaches that we dealt with in the last 3 weeks are tremendous. They helped us, they tried to let us catch up, and did a great job. Our staff, even though it was a shortened staff, did a tremendous job of meeting the families. Larry had some really good quality players and kids committed, and most of those stayed. So we really appreciated that. And at the same time, we were able to get some other young people to come. So if you had asked me 3 weeks ago if we would have what we have today, I would have been really surprised. So this is much, much better than I anticipated it being in such a short period of time. So I'm really proud of our coaches, and I think it's a credit to them that we hired a lot of coaches that have ties in the state to a lot of the coaches and high school coaches, and that really helped us. And we're going to win with a large majority of players from this state. We did it last time, and that'll be our plan this time. We've got 10 coaches that will go out and recruit when we get back on the 10th of January, and each one of them will have an in-state area. And we're going to go to every high school in the state of North Carolina. And that's really, really important to us, to embrace the high school coaches here, do anything that we can do to help them within the rules, and try to build our team from within, like we did last time. And then secondly, we go out of state for superstars. And that's the plan. That's the way it was then and before. So we're going to go over the guys here, and then I'll answer questions afterwards. I want you to see each one of them and look at them. And then we can't wait to get back and meet our team. We've had 2 team meetings, but we really haven't had a chance to sit down and meet all of our guys. Now our coaches over Christmas holidays will call every player and talk to every player and talk to their parents, and because we've got to re-recruit our own players and make sure that they understand this isn't Coach Fedora's team, this is not my team, this is our team, and that we're going to try to win immediately. We're not talking about rebuilding and don't trust the kids. We're going to try to start now and win every game. That's our goal, and that's not going to change. All right. If you want something run back, please tell me. This is Storm Duck, who may have the best name in college football moving forward. I love it. I asked Mom why she named him that way, and she said it would get everybody's attention, and I think it worked. So, without question. Storm is a cornerback from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. When you're signing defensive backs now, you need guys that can catch, because turnovers win ball games. And Then he's got the ability to play all the different defensive back positions. He can play nickel, he can play corner, he can play safety. He's a hitter, but he also has good ball skills. And you can see here, Coach Switzer told me one time, don't ever put a guy on the field that can't score when he touches the ball. And this guy's really, really smart. He was already committed when we got here. You have to give those kids credit because anybody that was committed, we had a tough season, we changed coaches, and these kids still hung in there with us, and that's pretty cool from their standpoint. The first 5 of these guys will be early enrollees, so he will be here in January, and he can also hit. Sam Howell. Sam is a guy who grew up loving the University of North Carolina. We got behind on him and have been fighting our guts out to get back in. He's got really strong legs. He's got quickness. He can run. I think he's got some Baker Mayfield in him. Somebody said Brett Favre the other day. Most of the modern day kids don't even know who Brett is right now, so it'd take a while. So to me, it's more Baker Mayfield. He's got a magnetism about him that he really is a great leader. Kids are drawn to him, and he's got it all. He's got the special arm, and he just knows how to win games, as people have said. He's got the it factor. Quadre Jackson, a linebacker from down in the Orlando area. His coach is Brian Simmons, who should know what a good linebacker would be. He can run from side to side. He's very bright. His dad was an assistant high school coach at Jacksonville Reigns. His dad played football at Florida A&M. And he's kind of like a hybrid. He can come off the corner and rush the passer. He's playing wide receiver here. So he's kind of a safety linebacker, outside linebacker hybrid that is really key in modern day defenses because people are using the whole field. They're spreading out so much. You need fast guys that can cover. Emory Simmons kind of got everything going with us in the new world. When we were here, we solidified the commitments we had. Emory was one of the first guys that came to visit and came out public and said, I want to play for my state university. I want to stay close to home. And he's got everything. He's got length. He's got speed. He's a guy that can go up and win the 50-50 jump balls. He is what we need in the in-state players that just decide that I want to play for my state university. I want to stay at home. And this is really important to me. And he's tough enough to go over the middle. He was coached by Marcus Wall, another outstanding player for us. When you walk in and see Brian Simmons and Marcus Wall coaching them, you get a smile on your face. You're excited because we got a chance. But Emory can be special because he's got such good ball skills and height. He'll be a mismatch on a lot of corners. Wyatt Tonal, he's 6'5", about 270. Got him at fullback and H-back here. He's a tough young man that just won the state championship a couple of weeks ago. I called him the morning after the state championship because he was committing to us and he was duck hunting. So he loves to hunt and fish. But he's a guy that can run, he's big, he's strong. All these kids will be here in 2 weeks. So all 5 of these first guys are early admits. His coaches raved about him, another great student. And I think he will be a really big body before he gets through. He's tall, he's got a lot of range, and he can put on a lot of weight and still carry it. Okay, those are the guys that will come in early. These are the next group that will come in June. Geo Biggers, a big safety, which again you like. He's got good ball skills. He's a hitter. He can fill the alley. He was a guy that was already committed to us when we got here. He's smart. Another young man that has a great family and didn't waver at all. And we think he can be a really good player. Watch him come up and field here. He can field the alley. He can play the middle of the field and one free. He goes back here and does that. The next play he comes up and makes the tackle for a very little gain. But he can cover a lot of field with his length and has good ball skills. See him come up here in the alley. Inside out. We think he'll be a really good player. All of these guys have really good grades. Obi, and I'm not going any further than that to be safe. Coach Bateman had recruited Obi for Army. Tremendous student, character, and at the same time, Dre Bly had watched him growing up through the system. And he was a guy that we felt like was very under-recruited. He's smart, he's gotten taller, he's got good ball skills. And we think he'll be a really good player for us. And sometimes you just got to find guys like that for some reason or the other, maybe they thought he was a little small, that people weren't recruiting as well as they should. And it's our job to find the guys that we think are best for us. And you watch this kid, and we think he's a good player. And such a special young man. And we need corners. We need depth there. So this was also another reason we looked at it. He has a sister here that's a senior that's getting ready to go to med school. But we liked everything we saw about him. Tamari Fox, his brother is on our team. He's a very good player. Tamari is a guy that we feel like fits really, really well in Coach Bateman's 3-4 scheme. He's a really good pass rusher. He's strong. Both guys are weightlifters. He's a wrestler at his high school. And he's also got a dad that looks like he could play. So they got good genes. But anytime you can get brothers, you feel like that's really good too. When the older brother's a really good player, this young man's going to make a name for himself. I know you got proud parents when you got two guys coming, but he's got a lot of strength and he's got good quickness and gets off the ball very quickly. Good pass rusher. Josh Henderson. Another young man that was committed when we got here that never wavered. He's a multi-purpose guy. He'll play some on defense, but he's a really good running back. He's got good hands. You can utilize him out of the backfield. These families were so nice. They asked me to have our new coaches watch their video and make sure that they wanted them, and they asked us why, because they didn't want to come unless they were really wanted. So they said, Coach, we got plenty of places to go, but you see him on defense here. Josh is another very bright young man, and we think he's got a very good future for us. He's really got good hands and runs good routes out of the backfield and powerful. Kevin Hester, we need some big bodies up front. He was a guy that we found about 10 days ago. In Georgia. He's 6'5", he's 252 pounds. He's a basketball player. He's only played 1 year of football. And we think he can really be a strong, big body moving forward. He's very bright. He's got great family. And he can run for a guy that big. And last time we were here, we found some guys that had played basketball and had really great feet. And they grew into football players. So we feel like he's a guy that can do that. He's from a very good program, and his coach was all over it. He said, Coach, this guy's a guy that people haven't found. Ben KIERNAN was actually, his family's from Dublin. He sent a scholarship in from Dublin this morning, and he's one of the better punters in the country. And obviously, kicking game will be huge for us, and we need to change the field. We need to get hitting yards, and we feel like that Ben can do that. And freshman, he can come in and play as a freshman. It's very easy to do. Drew Little is one of the better deep snappers in the country. There's only 2 of these on here because if you see 2 good ones, we can show you 50 good ones and they look the same. We only notice the bad ones for the snappers. But we also did not have a deep snapper, so this will really help our kicking game. And now the kicking and punting camps, you get so much information that it really helps you. Tristan Miller, a guy that's 6'5", 285, and I think has a super upside. I think he's got a chance to be a superstar. If you watch him with his feet, he just punishes people. Jeez. He'll probably be 325 before he leaves here. He's got great feet. And it's hard to find left tackles. I think he'll be a left tackle. He's got that kind of feet. Smart, grew up being a Carolina fan. Finishes blocks. He was one we didn't know for sure about till last night and this morning. But we felt like he was one that would finish and make this class special for a first year. Kamari is a tight end from Lincoln High School in Tallahassee. He's really competitive. He loves football. He's a little undersized, but can be a slot. He's got great speed for a tight end. He'll be a mismatch on linebackers and safeties. And like I said, he loves football. He just competes and loves the game and studies the game and asks questions. And you need a tight end that can run and do good things inside. He's a good blocker. He's in the 230s to 240 range with his weight, probably 6'2", 6'1 and a half. So he's not as small as some might think. But with his athletic ability, he gives you some things in our offense that we'll be able to utilize that some other people don't have. Justin Olson was a young guy that the staff had really looked at hard before we got here. And they kept talking about him and felt like that he was a special player but under-recruited. He's got great grades. He's got height, he's got length, he's got speed. He's got everything. Just again was under the radar. And when we all looked at him separately and didn't ask who he was being recruited by, every one of us said, he's got the skill set that we need. And modern day, again, you've got to have guys that don't drop balls, but you also need guys that can go up high and catch the 50-50 balls, and that's what he can do. He's got really good balance and the ability to time his jump. But he also has speed. And Larry had him in camp here, and they really liked him in camp. This young man's named Awesome, which is really cool. Awesome Richards. I'd like to change my name to Awesome. But he's 6'5". He was committed when we got here. Again, good student. He's 295 pounds. He plays defensive end. He plays defensive tackle. He plays basketball. He's got really good feet. And here he is at defensive end. He could play on either side of the ball if we want to. He wants to be an offensive lineman. I think he only played offensive line for like 1 year. And again, we feel like that he's really good. He was pretty highly recruited. He had a lot of people after him. So we were lucky that there were guys like he and Josh Henderson and Storm Duck and Gio Welton being another one. There were a lot of those guys that were committed that stuck, and that gave us a great foundation to start with. Welton's from Havelock. They've got a great program. They win every year. He's another guy that you start talking about family, and you start talking about grades, you start talking about confidence and winning, and he's a big body, so he's got the hands, he's got the body like Emery to keep people off of him, and he's got really good leaping ability to catch the deep ball. Another one that didn't waver after Larry had him committed. And Havelock's a school that's going to have a lot of players every year. And you like guys that are used to winning. You can see he can play a lot of different places. He can play in the slot, or he can go outside. But he's a guy that's going to secure the ball and catch the ball very well. Very good body control. Christian Varner, he's another guy that's 6'2", 6'2.5", or 3. He's 255 pounds and can really run. Modern day, when you've got people using the whole field on offense, you need guys like this that have got the ability to stop the screen and the draw, and he can pick off a ball like that one with his quickness. But you can see he's a tremendous pass rusher. Another great family, another tremendous young man, very good student. But it's hard to find pass rushers. You got to have pass rushers to win modern day. You got to have corners that can cover. And we felt like that he's exactly what we wanted on the edge. Another young man that when he came, he came and he went home and committed the next day. So he really had a good visit. And he had a lot of people after him. Okay.